Okay, welcome to this session. As you can see, this one is all about balance, whether that be finding your balance, improving your balance, regaining your balance. So grab some pen or some paper and a pen. You will want to take some notes as you will be creating your own balance strategy a little bit later on within this session. Okay, so first of all, let's start by asking the question, what does the word balance mean to you? You might even want to write this down. What does it mean to you? Maybe it's balance in your mind, balanced in your body or your life, what's going on around you. Maybe you can put it into some sort of more general term. Evenly balanced in different areas, different ways. So this is a nice definition that I found that for me outlines it pretty clearly. So balance is a result of an unimpeded flow of energy that is expressed through the body, mind, emotions, soul, and spirit. And for me, it's our minds that can get in the way sometimes of this flow of energy coming through us, and ultimately um, not allowing us to feel balanced within ourselves. So think of this as the balance that we feel within us, maybe that peace of mind that sometimes we can be forever striving for. So really noticing that flow of energy. Am I allowing that flow of energy, or am I cutting it off with my thinking, with my perspective, maybe even my belief system? Okay, so how do you know when you are out of balance? And again, write the answers to these questions down. How do you know when you're out of balance? Maybe it's how you feel. Again, it might be in your head, mind, might be in your body. Maybe your body's giving you clear signals to tell you you're out of balance. Maybe you notice things around you, or it's what people say to you. Maybe it's the relationships that you experience, and you notice when things are out of balance there. Maybe it's work, or maybe you're pushing too hard at work or study, whatever it is that you're doing. And other areas in your life are having an impact or being impacted upon. So notice how you feel. It could be stress, it could be tiredness, noticing yourself struggling. Maybe it's your reactions, maybe you're defensive or attacking in different ways. Maybe there's arguments going on in relationships. Or maybe it's those emotions that you feel. Maybe you feel down, depressed, anxious, or maybe it's something else. Whatever it is for you, write it down. Really get to know those triggers of when you are out of balance, or maybe even when you're starting to be out of balance, so you can catch it before and bring yourself back into balance. So if you've gone through one of the earlier videos, you'll probably have heard of this word already. You may even know of this word. And this word is homeostasis, as we can see. And again, this is about knowing when we're out of balance. That it's because our body and our mind is always moving us, or trying to move us into balance. It's seeking stability and balance within the system of your body based upon the changing external conditions around you. So it's that self-regulating process that we don't even have to think about. But of course, if things do get too much out of line, we'll start having different thoughts that are trying to bring us back into balance. And sometimes those thoughts might be helpful, sometimes they might not be helpful, in a way that they could be seeking balance in a very quick, short-term way. And that behavior or thing that we engage in to find balance might not be the right thing for us. But if we tune in and we go deeper beyond the mind and we tap into the body, we can really start to feel into what we need, what we actually need in that moment to find balance. So recognizing that homeostasis has your survival needs in mind. And as we say, however, when we are reaching for a goal or to complete a task, this can get in the way, as it will flood our mind with thoughts of retreat or give up or quit, as we are pushing out of our comfort zone. So again, it's an unconscious process that's helping us in one way, but sometimes we want to push forwards. We want to strive for that goal and expand our comfort zone. So sometimes we have to override this deep unconscious pattern. You might want to reach that finish line of the marathon that you're running, but homeostasis wants you to stop. It wants you to rest. It wants you to find stability. So, of course, it's always a choice. Do I stop? Do I let go? Do I quit? Do I listen to my body? Or do I push that comfort zone, expand, grow, and move it into that finish line? And give my mind and my body that new instruction that actually I can do this. And of course, that's part of our growth within us, our inner growth. Okay, so this brings us into what we call the Healthy Mind Platter, which makes up 7 essential mental activities necessary for optimum mental health in our daily lives. So all of these enable the brain to coordinate and balance its activities, strengthening your brain's internal connections and your connections with other people. And this concept of Healthy Mind Platter is by, I think it was by a guy called David Rock of the Neuro Leadership Institute, who created this theory, if I'm correct. It's come from there, and I'm pretty sure that he created this Healthy Mind Platter. So we've got physical time, focus time, connection time, play time, downtime, time in, and sleep time. We're going to go into all of these individually as we move forwards. But for now, just ask yourself, how often do you argue with your partner or a loved one when you're out of balance compared to when you are in balance? So when our needs are being met, we are at peace and we can access that higher, more accepting, compassionate part of us, part of our brain, and not get stuck swimming around in the fight or flight. So just taking those 7 areas for now, just before we move into each one. And just having to think about on a scale of 0 to 10, what you'd rate each one at. And we'll go into more detail in a minute so you can get more specific with it. But just having a little think now, what you'd rate each one out of 10. Really about how much you're hitting that one. So if it's physical time and you're getting enough exercise and even nutrition, and you're looking after yourself and your body really well, then that might be a 10. So thinking about, are you getting enough? What you want, what you need of that specific time, that area of your life. And of course, it's going to be different for all of us, but this is about you noticing where you are compared to where you think you could be or where you could improve upon. Okay. So let's just move into physical time to start with. So this is about movement, exercise, physical activity of some kind. It can also be about nutrition, food, water, stuff that we put in our bodies. When we've got a good, healthy, balanced physical time, this will improve our cognitive function, combat stress, increases blood flow to the brain, helps activate genes responsible for neuroplasticity. And it's also been noted to be involved in memory and learning, so improved functioning of the prefrontal cortex. So that's system 2 level thinking that we've mentioned before, the higher level thinking that we want to be in. Reduces stress, anxiety, depression, and of course, clearly, exercise is good for a lot more than heart health and physical fitness. So again, just notice what you've put already if you already put a number there, but if not, then move into that one and just give yourself a 0 to 10 on physical time and jot that down so you note it as you go forwards. So then we come into focus time. So this refers to sustained attention on a single task. This can induce what we call a state of flow. And flow is characterized by being completely engrossed in a task and not noticing the time passing. So for knowledge workers, focus time is one of the most prized mental activities because it allows them to gain a sense of mastery and complete important tasks. So when thinking of focus time, you could think of your work, your study, even your hobbies. It could be those things that you engage in that you see as being fun, even. But really something that you're really focused in on. And if this is low for you, don't worry, as quality focus time can be hard to come by for most of us. As modern life is full of distractions, everything from pinging phones to PCs, interruptions by colleagues, or even people that we live with now that working from home has become somewhat normal, to multiple projects being on the go simultaneously, or even just multiple tasks. So sustained attention requires the prefrontal cortex to be in a state of arousal, and we call this optimal arousal. So it's not too bored and it's not too stressed, and this creates that state of focus time, that state of flow. Not too bored, not too stressed. Again, just think about 0 to 10, where you're going to put this one for you right now in your life. Okay. So next one is connection time. So as you probably guessed, this refers to connecting with people, family, friends, colleagues, peers, and the benefits of physical and mental health. With connection time, it increases your self-awareness and helps build emotional intelligence. And something to note here was when we stop performing cognitively effortful tasks and allow ourselves to relax, the brain's default mode network turns on. So think of this as the system 1 level of thinking, that autopilot mode. And neuroimaging shows us that the network includes the regions of the brain that are responsible for thinking about ourselves and others. So in other words, that default network, that autopilot, is social. So, which may explain the popularity of social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. And research shows that social support not only improves physical health and mortality, it also helps people manage stress, confront challenges, and maintain a positive outlook. So, connection is ranked by some as a basic human need and is put in the same category as food, water, shelter. Connection time then can be viewed not as just a luxury, but a necessity for a human being. And with this Healthy Mind Platter, this activity also includes connecting to the natural world around you. So think about nature as well when you're rating yourself on a scale of 0 to 10 for connection time. Okay, the next one's playtime. So think about this as being engaging in creative or enjoyable activities, but really think about what that word play means to you. Start by having that clarity about what it means to you, because it can be different for all of us. And it can definitely be within creativity. It can be where ideas come in the moment through that creative time, that creative spark. Maybe you're just playing, enjoying, and you're sort of connecting the dots with things. Think about how kids do it. Or how did you do it as a kid? How did you play? If you've got children around you, just notice how they play themselves, what goes on for them. And if we think about playtime in the brain, playtime will stimulate the reward centers in the brain. Play appears to help develop social skills as well as facilitate learning and help people practice new motor skills. It releases dopamine, creating that all important towards state that supports core functions, including motor, sensory, and visual. And being deprived of play has been associated with social problems in humans and aggressive behavior in animals. We tend to think of play as an activity for children, but research through this Healthy Mind Platter proposes it has significant benefits for adults as well. So what should adult play look like? So again, research suggests that it needs to be social and provide unexpected and novel situations. And if it generates laughter, then all the better. So again, think about 0 to 10. Where are you on this one? Playtime. And make a note of that. Okay. So bringing in downtime there. So this refers to relaxing or inactivity. And again, it's open to interpretation. So think about what it means for you. What does relaxing mean to you? What does inactivity mean to you? And inactivity in its purest form is it's basically just intentionally having no goal or outcome in mind. You could think about lazing around, chilling out, daydreaming, disconnecting. And of course, on the screen there, we've got sustained attention on a single task. I think we've not updated that one, so just ignore that and just listen to what we've got to say on downtime. So in the brain, this wakeful state of rest activates the default network in the brain, which research indicates is concerned with memory, sense of self and others, autobiographical reflection, and integration. So we tend to naturally enter this state when we are mentally exhausted, but it is not an activity many of us consciously schedule into our day. So crucially, this state seems to be one of the common precursors to insight, especially when it follows an intensive period of focus time. It's highly likely why that's still there, sustained attention on a single task. So an argument could be made for giving it more priority. So again, think about downtime and give it a rating 0 to 10. Okay, then we go into time in. So this one takes a little bit more explanation if you've not come across it before. So referring to mindfully and consciously being in the present moment. So reflection and introspection time. So being in the present moment, again, thinking about mindfulness. This links to what we call the direct experience network, as you directly experience the present moment. So whereas our default mode, the autopilot, moves us into the past and the future, bringing up the old story narrative that can drag us down or cause us anxiety. This is where we bring ourselves into the now. So being mindful in each task or activity as you are doing it. So being mindful about the run that you're doing instead of planning the next week or regurgitating an old argument. So when you're running, it's like, are you focusing on that next step as your foot hits the floor, the next one, the next one, the next one, each and every moment? Are you mindful of how you're feeling in your body and the breath that you're taking, or is your mind elsewhere? Is it going over that old conversation? Is it trying to figure a problem out that doesn't need to be thought about till tomorrow? And when you think about time in, think about spiritual and reflective time. So really about that relationship with yourself. And time in, simply put, is the practice of mindfulness. So as we can see here, Jon Kabat-Zinn, founding executive of the Center of Mindfulness, describes this state as paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. This can include awareness of self or inner life, thoughts, emotions, bodily sensations, as well as the external world. And the benefits of mindfulness are extensive. Studies show that when practiced on a regular basis, it helps people regulate emotions, enhance attention and creativity, reduces stress, and increases empathy. It has been shown to improve symptoms of anxiety and depression, as well as pain management as well. And unlike other mental states in the healthy mind platter, mindfulness or time in is not a state we are likely to enter naturally, and thus needs to be learned and practiced in order to gain the benefits. So just 10 minutes a day of mindfulness practice or meditation would give you a good start in building that part of your healthy mind platter up of time in. So have a think about what that is for you now. So 0 to 10. 10 being totally there, doing it, totally mindful, and you're getting that practice in every day. And again, it's down to what you think is enough here, or totally 0. Maybe it wasn't even on your radar. Okay, so bringing it into the last one here. So this is sleep time, the seventh of the 7 parts of the Healthy Mind Platter. So this refers to the amount of sleep you get, but also the quality of sleep that you get as well. So seeing it as not as a standalone thing when working on something else, the sleep may improve, such as if you're working on exercise, nutrition, maybe even the time in, as we've just discussed. it can also improve the sleep. And that goes for a lot of those different areas as well. When you start making improvements on one, you will probably notice an improvement on the others as well, because you're building that momentum of finding more balance and improving your balance in that positive direction. So look out for the underlying problems that might be affecting your sleep. So improving sleep hygiene, capturing activities and sleep times on a worksheet. Poor sleep can lead to low mood and depression. And there's strong evidence that sleep enhances memory, creative thinking, learning, emotional regulation. And clearly, sleep is something we should take more seriously if we want to achieve optimal mental performance. Research confirms that most of us require between 7 and 9 hours of sleep every day. And if this is not possible, two other sleep routines can be effective. One is the siesta model, so consisting of 5 to 7 hour chunk of sleep and a second daytime nap of 1 or 2 hours. So really seeing what works for you. The other one is to take short naps, with the ideal length for alertness and performance being around 20 minutes. So if that's possible for you, if you can do that, if it feels like it could work for you, then try it out. And research suggests incorporating a mindfulness period or restful wakefulness to combat insufficient sleep. So if you are struggling with sleep, then really focusing on that timing and use those things together to help you to uh, have that restful wakefulness or mindfulness period, as it says, during the day if you're struggling with sleep of an evening and nighttime. And look, if you're struggling with sleep of nighttime, but you're able to get that siesta, short nap, or even mindful rest period during the day, this can in itself release you from the cycle of bad sleep, as it takes the pressure off you trying to get to sleep, um, or get to sleep and have a good night's sleep. So a lot of the time we can get into those patterns of bad sleep because we're fearing or we're feeling anxious around going to sleep or not having enough sleep, and then what's the impact of that going to be? So use these different helpful strategies that can balance things out in different ways. And again, as with all of these, 0 to 10, what does that look like for you? Okay, so I don't want you to be looking to always be in balance, because we can't be. We're always doing different things, maybe digesting different things. We're always out of balance, but we're always moving into balance at the same time. And life is always going to throw us off balance in different ways as well. So, it could be things that we're doing consciously or unconsciously, or just life in general that has an impact on us. So I'd say always be looking to improve your balance, and doing this from the inside out. So not relying on external things to change or go away, but moving inwards and asking what's in my control here. What could I be thinking, doing differently that would have an impact upon my balance improving? So here's let's have a little look. Yeah, here's a couple of questions to get you started. So this should be the next page. Yeah. So what areas of my life am I mostly in balance? So first of all, starting to have a think about and bring those different areas of the healthy mind platter forwards with this as well. And just looking, okay, which areas am I in balance to start with? And what does the balanced version of me look like, sound like, think, and behave like? So really bring that visual up of that version of you, the balanced version of you. What are they doing differently to the imbalanced version of you? What area of my life is the easiest to change and would have the most impact upon my balance? So again, bringing those areas forwards from the healthy mind platter. What area is the easiest to change and would have the most impact for you? And again, write the answers to these questions down, pause the video where you need to. And what does a balanced story of me sound like? So notice the story that you've been telling yourself. Maybe it's a story of imbalance, out of balance. Notice how a different story might evolve there, one that is more balanced. And what's the next action that you could take to find more balance? And again, just tying these two things in together here. So just asking in different ways. So in balance, out of balance. So this one's more around the areas, note these down, the areas of your life where you're most out of balance. When I'm out of balance, how does this reflect in my thinking? And remember, when you are out of balance, you're going to be in that system one level of thinking, because the energy that's lifting you up into that system two level of thinking is going to be more focused on rebalancing your body, because homeostasis is going, hey, we need to rebalance here. This is more of a survival strategy that we need to implement here. We can't be moving forwards, chasing goals, doing this, that, the other. We need survival is important. Bring it back down. So of course that area of the brain will fire up, and of course it will bring your thinking into that, and of course it will be emotionally charged as well, emotionally charged. So when I'm out of balance, how does this reflect in my thinking? And what unhelpful habits knock me out or keep me out of my balance? So other things that you do, any habits that are maybe unhelpful or unhealthy that keep you out of balance. Note these down. And what story am I telling myself that is keeping me out of balance? Again, going back to that story. What story have you been telling yourself that's keeping you out of balance? Think about beliefs, rules, just general thinking styles, maybe feeding that state of being out of balance. Okay, good. So now it brings us into creating your own balance strategy. So I'm going to show you a list of things in the next page here, the next slide, that could be helpful to you in finding and improving your balance and could form part of your balance strategy. And this strategy could be used to maintain your balance. It could be used to regain your balance, improve your balance. So think about how best it's going to work for you. So as you can see here, choose only 3 things that would be most powerful to you to engage in from today, that are easy for you to action and will make a big impact on you living a more balanced life. And really ask that question: what does a balanced day look like to you? And you could do it this way. You could go, okay, what's that thing I could do in the morning? What's that thing I could do midday, lunchtime maybe? What's that thing I could do in the evening? You can do it that way. If you want to do it a different way, then that's totally fine too. Do what works for you. Think about what your day-to-day schedule looks like. Whether you're working, and of course this might change over a weekend, depending on what days you've got off. So okay, so here's the list. There we go. Okay, so again, think about what could fit in. Could be more morning, midday, evening. There's 3 things though. Just choose 3 things that you're going to include in your day that will have a positive impact on you, and make them easy. Don't choose the hardest things just because you think that they should be there. Choose the things that are going to have that straight away impact, and you're going to be able to maintain, and it feels good for you to continue with. So there's less resistance to you not doing them. So as we can see, then we've got obviously mindfulness practice, meditation, as we mentioned, around time in, awareness, noticing. So again, it could be that self-reflection, introspection part, the body, movement, exercise, nutrition, balance of activity and rest. Really think about where you are on those scales. What's working for you at the moment? What's not working for you? What's that key area that would have a big impact upon all the other areas? Of course, we've got appreciation, gratitude log. Again, that builds into that reflective practice. Journal exercises, connecting with others. Maybe you don't have enough connection time. Play, enjoyment, Netflix and chill. So again, these can be really specific things, or they can be more general. It could be just that area. Maybe you want to have a think about which area of that healthy mind platter you want to move into. You want to explore more. What can I do within this? Maybe you don't know right now, but it's just about asking yourself that question and just exploring it a little bit more. It's about engaging in hobbies. Again, body, yoga, stretching, gym, workouts, eating healthily, 2 to 3 litres of water a day. Obviously, research recommends that. But even asking yourself, what do I drink at the moment? Maybe it's only 1 litre. Maybe I want to shift up to 1.5 litres. Maybe that's the improvement that you want to make. Mantras, affirmations, self-talk. Really noticing what's that story that you're playing out in your mind. What's the new one that you want to introduce that would be more helpful to you? Sleep management, as we mentioned previously. Maybe you want to keep a log. Maybe you just want to notice what's going right or wrong within you setting up your environment for success, for sleep, before you go to bed. Maybe it's just a new evening strategy that incorporates something like meditation or self-reflection, just to download whatever's on your mind, maybe into a journal, and that's going to help you to sleep better as well. So tying these different things in together, that's really going to help to improve things and have a positive impact for you. So again, just picking 3 things. And again, you could put them morning, midday, evening, or in whatever way, shape or form you want to do that, whatever works for you within your schedule, within your day. Okay, so take that away and put that into action. And if you can, do it from today. If not, start tomorrow and go, okay, so what's this going to look like for me? How can I put this balance strategy into place? 1, to help me to improve it, to maintain it, to build that momentum into a more balanced life. And 2, of course, if you do fall off balance, using this as a way to stabilize yourself and bring yourself back into balance. So just finishing with one other question then. So just thinking about this, and a lot of the time we can be juggling too many things, holding on to too tightly to the past, or things we think we need to control. So notice what comes up for you when you ask this question. What can I let go of today in order to find more balance in my life? What can I let go of today in order to find more balance in my life? And I often think about this as, we can take on spinning plates, and it's like we're spinning 10 plates, and we've got all that in control, and we're spinning this, spinning that, and then another plate gets added, and another one, and another one, and all of a sudden we start to feel out of control. We start to feel out of balance. Those plates start to slip a little bit, and it's like it's taking a step back and just going, okay, what can I let go of here? What plate can I let go of and allow to smash? And sometimes that can be a hard thing to do, but sometimes you have to do it in order to refocus and bring your minds more into focus of what's really important for you. So what can you let go of? And what would you need to do or not do to put this into place today? And again, something that I'll keep repeating here, which is don't try and solve a problem from the same level of thinking that created it. So, Einstein quote, if I'm correct, don't try and solve a problem from the same level of thinking that created it. Find your balance first. Because if you're not finding your balance, then you're just going to be feeding the problem with the emotion and the opinions that are just cycling around. So, if you can, of course, if you need to act in the moment, of course, sometimes that is the case, then of course, act. However, if you can step back from the problem, allow your emotions, allow those thoughts to calm down, find your balance so you can rise up into that system two level of thinking and you can see things from a different angle, a wider perspective, you can see the bigger picture. And sometimes that problem isn't a problem anymore. But a lot of the time we can just see it from a different level and we can allow solutions or different ways of thinking about it to arise. So don't try and solve a problem from the same level of thinking that created it. Find your balance first. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the session around balance. So go away, put your balance strategy into place, continue monitoring that healthy mind platter of yours now. Now you've got all of those different areas. You might want to do that exercise once a month just to know where you are, how you've improved, or where you've slipped, and what needs more action or more focus for you. So enjoy that, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.